I think I've broken the pattern. I think it's broken. The cult operated exactly like maybe a romantic, narcissistic, abusive relationship, but on a much larger scale. And so I became obsessed with trying to understand narcissism. What if we created something that could talk about the psychology of what's going on, why we're susceptible, and how to defend ourselves against the tactics that cult leaders use?
What we're going to do in this course is we're going to compare and contrast the process of being drawn into a narcissistically abusive relationship, a cult of one, and the psychological processes of getting into a cult. We need to break down all of the ways in which people get sucked into narcissistically abusive relationships. We need to break down the coordinates by which people remain inside of a cult, because if you don't do that, even after you've left the abusive relationship, even after you've left the cult programming, the narcissistically abusive programming will continue to run on.
The one thing I've learned, and the reason this is so important to do, is I see people who leave cults and they don't actually do the work to understand the mechanics of what happened, and they end up in the same thing.
I prefer covert contract because you don't know that you're signing up for it. It's implied, it's in the ether, it's semi-conscious. If it was made conscious and I came to you with a whiteboard like this at the beginning of your relationship with your cult community, your last cult community, or your last narcissistically abusive relationship, and I said, just wait 1 second. And I laid out for you in black and white exactly what the cult would be taking from you in exchange for your time, attention, and submission. Exactly what the narcissist would be taking from you in exchange for your sovereignty, in exchange for giving up your critical thinking skills, and I laid it out. The chances are far higher that you would have said no and walked away.
And this is a good sign. If you can't question the process and say, how do we know what we're doing is good, and actually have a rational conversation about it without somebody getting upset, you're in a cult.
That's a beautiful definition as well. I really like that.